Hey everybody, welcome to my garden tour. I had a chance to see your yards, and so I thought you might want to see what ours looks like. We're going to start in the front yard, and here we are looking at the front east corner of the house, and then looking across the house toward the west. Now that tree there is a white pine tree, and last fall I lopped off about 10 feet because it's going to be huge, and I'm not sure if we want to keep it, so I'm trying to keep it under control. It might come down sometime within the next couple of years. This tree is our big maple tree, and provides a lot of shade for us, but it's not doing too well. It's hard to see, but there are a lot of dead branches, and I'm hoping it'll stick around for a long time, but I have my doubts. I think within a few years it might die off. And one of the reasons why is that flower bed. You can see some like roots growing out of the bark. So I'm not sure if it was just caused by that or not, but anyway, then you can see all the way down the front there. Here we have the east side of the house. That's an oak leaf hydrangea by the antenna pole. It's not doing too well. It needs to be trimmed and cut back. And here we are looking at the house. When we got back from our vacation, that clematis was in bloom. It looks really nice. So this is the planter. It's about 12 inches that we piled up of dirt around the tree, and I think maybe the tree didn't appreciate that. This is the front porch. There's two different lilac bushes. Only one of them bloomed this year. And this is our porch with the baskets, and then from the porch looking west at our rock garden. This rock garden area and the whole front yard was planted before we did the backyard, and it turned out okay. There are irises there in the front, and a kind of a odd little grass. That's a pink peony in the background, and then a lot of different sedum. The red plant is a dragon's blood sedum, and then a lot of different sedum that has a yellow. There's a red hens and chick, and there's a green one on the right hand side. Next to the red hens and chicks, I think that's a heather or baby's breath, and then a thyme, I believe. And then there's some brown grasses which are multiplying quite a lot lately. And then a big spirea, I think it is called. Those are the brown grasses, and then the little clump by the rock is a mondo grass, mondo black, and that's doing well this year. This is a fountain I made. It's about 3 feet across, and just recycles into a bucket below. It's heavy, probably weighs 150 pounds. It's a real pain. Then we have some Japanese yew. I think the theme of the front garden was prickly plants. Just about everything bush-wise that we planted has pickers on it. Those are hydrangeas there. That green plant, not sure, some kind of a yew. And then this is from the street looking up the sidewalk. That tall grass there is a Carl Forster. It's a real pretty grass. It blooms early, and it's a smart idea to plant tall grass in front of a fire hydrant, just in case the fire department needs to find the fire hydrant. This is looking alongside our garage. This is my sprinkling pump with the well that I put in. Then our shade garden that goes down along the side of the garage. Got several different hostas. On the left is a sea oats, I believe. Some ostrich ferns in the back. A couple other ferns are scattered around. Some kind of a funny ones. A big bleeding heart plant by the parking meter. There's a painted Japanese fern, and then a big clump of Japanese Hakone grass. And here's a better look at the Hakone grass. It's kind of a mixture. There's variegated kind of a yellow, I think that's called the golden Hakone, and the other left half is more solid green leaves. So somehow we got two plants when we got that. There's a big fern that's kind of bleached out by the sun right there. But this is the area of the yard I talked about, wanting to maybe just get about 10 yards of soil and fill it all in. It's nothing but violets, worse. That's a big maple tree there that overhangs our driveway, and sooner or later that thing's going to crack and fall. And there's Pam's Mother's Estates present. That's a 6 cubic foot wheelbarrow that she got. This is looking from Klein at the backyard. The chain link fence. Along the chain link fence I transplanted the bee balm, and right there in front is some brown-eyed Susans that are getting ready to open up soon. More of the bee balm, and looking toward the grapevine. And then that plant there with the orangish leaves is some kind of brown-eyed Susan variation, Rudbeckia or whatever it's called. It's real pretty. It didn't grow last year. I planted it a couple years ago, and for some reason it took a couple years and it popped in to a different location. And these little purplish lavender bellflowers are really pretty, but very invasive. And that's the theme of the backyard, invasive plants. Seems like the plants that do the best are the ones that want to take over. The Monarda, the bee balm, kind of just sprang up, and luckily it filled in a whole corner down there at the end of the driveway, and that wasn't in bloom when we left, and it came back all in bloom. Coming up along the driveway we have some sedum and some hostas, and then those are 2 holly bushes that need some trimming. Unfortunately, all that gets buried in snow from shoveling and snow blowing, and I don't think it helps at all. This is a 360 from the middle of the yard. That tree over there, right in the center of the frame now, is a golden chain tree that friends gave us when Mom passed away. And this year it was just beautiful. It was just a lot of yellow flowers that grow in a chain, anywhere from 6 to 10 inches long. So here we are, spinning, heading toward the east. Our neighbor just bought this house, I believe, like this will be the 2nd year that they've been there, and they just redid the siding, put on that dark gray. It looks very sharp. There's our deck. So from the deck on, let's see, we have some pretty spindly little foxgloves, some anise hyssop right there next to the bird bath, some miniature lady's mantle down at the base of the bird bath, and then chocolate Joe Pye weed, I believe. The 2 hostas there came from the same plant. The left one on the left is the original, and the one on the right was split off from it. This one is more bluish, and I think it's because it is in the shade more. Then we have Lily of the Valley, another invasive plant that's just going crazy through the air. Stilby, turtle head, giant weed. In this corner, we just dug up completely this year. The only thing we left was the daylilies there in the foreground and the asters in the background. And we planted a few plants this year just to start off. Some daisies in front, blanket flower, and this cone flower. Got a couple of those. It's a very pretty color. And that little orange on the bottom is a butterfly weed that Pam really loves. Here we are continuing down along the east side. That's a yucca plant there that doesn't seem to do very well. Some milkweed that we planted for monarchs, and that kind of went crazy. It's in our grass, in our neighbor's grass, but it's easy to pull out anyway. This is a birdhouse for bluebirds, but mostly wrens take over. The plant in front of it is a Queen of the Prairie. It's got a nice lacy flower. Plant to the left of that is Crocosmia. It's a real pretty flower. This is its bloom, bud just coming out. It'll probably be bloomed in another week or so. Then we have a white laetris, some daylilies. In the back is a butterfly bush that in the last couple of years hasn't done all that great. It used to get huge, 5-6 feet tall and around, but it's kind of not doing too well. That's a little fountain that the pump went out, and I just haven't gotten around to replacing the pump. It's kind of a pain in the neck. It's a stack of pieces of marble, and it weighs a ton, and it's kind of a pain. In the back there is some purple laetris, some more daylilies, and then the tall lighter green is a pink balloon flower. And then there's 3 clumps of Heliopsis or Heliopsis. And usually that is, if this is the first year that it's not full of aphids. So I don't know what the difference is, but it looks good this year. Then at the base of the birdhouse was all orange poppies from Sandy's house. And I think it's a Gloriosa Rudbeckia. I don't know. Some kind of purple little bellflower. It's kind of pretty. I'm not sure what it's called. In front of the grapevine is a red peony, and below the red peony is some more of that light purple bellflower that's really invasive. Pam spends most of her time yanking it out. And then there's a huge lady's mantle, and it's just crazy huge. And a clump of daisies. And in the corner is hibiscus that will make flowers about 8 inches across or bigger. Kind of a dark maroon. And this is another corner I cleaned out completely. It was overrun with bee balm and weeds and everything, and I just tore it all out. This is a funny little flower. Kind of looks like a little pineapple. It's over there by the daisies. I can't remember the name. The whitish flower is called Snow in Summer, I think. I'm not sure what it is. Pam's not crazy about it. And then there's another hydrangea and a clump of chives that is really thick. blueberry, holly bushes, and in between is beard tongue that always falls over, and I always forget to stake it. It's a really pretty flower, and the hummingbirds like it. Then coming up to our little upper portion is supposed to be an herb garden. It's not doing too well this year. There's a big clump of oregano there that is probably 3 years old and just keeps on getting bigger, and we pull it down, but the rest of the herbs aren't doing too well. And my pond, and then just marigold and alyssum planting. And over on that little green step thing is the plants from Sandy's house that we've got to plant yet in the shady area. Our pergola with the new cover that Pam made last year. And the rest of the deck with the pots and plants. And that's about it. All right. Well, hope you liked it. Bye.